This will be episode 110, cycle 1863 and onward. I'm really hoping we get the plant chamber done tonight. As like the main goal, I need to turn the nuclear reactor back on. And I also need to devise how we're gonna get dupes into the room safely. We'll probably use lead suits. Probably. I think that's most likely what we'll do. I just need to make sure that the chamber entranceway is safe. Thankfully, we already have oxygen in there, so yeah. Like, the only thing I can think of is possibly filling it with CO2. As I was saying before, we may make a CO2 chamber, or we may just make the room CO2, but we will eventually need to actually take out the gas and put chlorine in for the grass. Or sorry, natural gas, I think, for that one. And I need chlorine for a couple plants. Yeah. I think the worst part's going to be getting like pinch of pepper nut to mutate in there. Is going to be really hard. But obviously the first things that we'll do is we will naturally plant sleet wheat right in there. And once we have started with that, we will possibly go from there. Probably over here a little bit. I may add hydroponics from above. But we really only need like one plant to be mutated, I believe. Let me just check this real quick. Summary. Where was the GMOs? Still annoyed about carnivore, but nothing we can do about it. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, it's just one plant mutation check. Doesn't matter what it is. All that matters is that it gets checked once. So, with the current layout, I could probably put it right here. But we do need to get sleep meat into this room. I need to put a pip in here. And I probably need to make it so that we can actually get in here with a radioactive suit. Problem with that is, still need to do our standard stuff before we can get the base going. Make sure all the plants are loaded. I don't want anything exploding in my face. And start. Make sure none of the tiles broke. Everything looks okay. We can actually turn the nuclear reactor back on, but I need to remove this first. I need to scoot that out of there. Which also means I need to allow dupes back into this room. That needs to stay off. I'm still thinking we add a conveyor loader. I really hate to do this, but I'm thinking we just slap one here. And then have it deposit the excess materials. Not there. We would need it. Yeah, we would actually need it there. And to prevent any kind of backup, bridge to force this. There we go. And then make that out of steel so it doesn't melt. Okay, good. They did grab everything. Okay. So yeah. As a weight plate check. So I need both a NOT gate. Nope, not that. I need a NOT gate putting that away. And I need a filter gate. Longer than the selected filter. We need a filter gate and a NOT gate. Reason being is that this should only turn on if this is sent a red signal for maybe 20 seconds. That way we don't need to send a dupe in there anymore, and the whole system will work out just okay. It will also redistribute the excess materials right over here. It's still accessible in case something happens. And this actually is our weight regulator. So this entire system should be the last thing that I need to add to the nuclear reactor, and then we're done there. Here, I may need to increase the amount of pressure that we send there, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of gas in that little cube. I need that to be CO2. Might actually freeze. Oh. Supercone's locking up. Is the supercone locking up? Huh. I may need to uncover that. Maybe. I really don't want to add metal tiles that will cause problems. But I'm like, technically speaking, that needs to be exposed. At least for the time being, because the temperature is going back up in here. I'd rather it not. Because again, we will be having sleetweed in this room, so definitely need to keep the temperature down. Oops, did you finish this one? Yes, you did. Pressure's at 3K. We cannot use a regular gas vent. Let's see here. I need CO2 and CO2 only. So we may need to branch a pipe down here. Which we can just use later to move other materials. Should be readily accessible from here. And this pipe doesn't go anywhere anymore. So I can move that. And we need to add another one right there, made out of steel, just in case. I'm priority that. That way there'll be more state changes there. Okay. That's all working. Okay, you're cleaning that finally. Good. Give it up. Good job, deoxidizer. I knew I could believe in you. Keep working. One Paku there left. Probably get moved, and I need to clean out all. Well, I need to purge all the polluted oxygen. Paku are now doing just fine. Very good. Cooked seafood is actually up. We have a lot of them. I'm kind of impressed how fast it's actually going now. The big downside is obviously we can't feed experiment 52B right now. There's no way. I do need to get a conveyor receptacle in here somehow. Right there. And get rid of that conveyor wheel. That in. Obviously it won't be powered yet. Definitely want to apply power. do that. How goes the exploration? We haven't found much. 9 priority. If there's anything left in range, I don't think there is. Dupes, please get this done. Also, this as well, and this. Once the entire system is done, this was completely weight controlled. Yeah, this will be completely safe. If anything goes wrong, the system should be able to pick it up and handle it. I may need to lower the spec down to 4.5. It looks like it's taking... This guy is accepting too much material. They're going to get that built real quick for me, which is very good. More nuclear waste in there, it looks like, because we haven't sucked up any more fallout by accident. So I'm sitting at 50, yep. Temperatures at 61, yeah. Still hot. Still definitely hot. 8 cycles until natural cooling, and then we can check where all our cooling lines actually are. This is almost refilled completely. Good to see. Eventually we'll start shooting more sand over to the other planets. Oops, I really do need this done so we can have experiment 52B stuff mostly finished and ready to go. So whenever you're ready, get that done. Also handle the extra slime, please. It is a menace, and it must be taken care of. Only have a little bit of slime lung left on the planet. And the rest of it will be contained in up here. How is the temperatures now? Ah, it's getting down. Very good. It's always a good thing to see. Sorry, Spoon, but you're going to be in there the longest because you got to build everything. I do find it funny though, I am technically processing polluted water without sand into water, like just vaporizing it and removing it once it goes over 20. As you can see, more and more of it is vaporizing quite quickly. So I have a tile of polluted oxygen. Will be a constant nuisance. So I can get it into a corner and I can crush it. I just set that for like 800 grams, so that way it never procs anymore for just a little bit. If we need more water for anything, like such as here or up here, I can always just pick it up using the vent. I can always insert more water through the system. I think I've fully sealed that in completely, so we're all good there. check. Yep, all of that is obsidian. So that's the best we can do until this night. Oh no, bucket, no! Failed themselves. Damn it. I know, I know. Are you going all the way down there? Bucket, what are you doing? I'm almost tempted to make them release their suit there. They're gonna make such a mess. Oh no! God damn it, game. Let me guess. They tried to put the suit on the thing when I made them drop it right before they got to it, but I didn't get it in clip fast enough. Let's just check. I'm assuming it was that. Let's see. Yep, all objects. Yep. Suit marker reachable. Suit marker. Yep, it was the suit. Ah, damn it. Help a black light. There's your report, guys. Let's get it booted back up. That's funny. Yeah, well. It happens. It's not the worst thing in the world. Okay, maybe it's much worse than that. There we go. Yes. One sec. We'll get ONI rebooted. Get right back into it. That was definitely an oh no! Game crashed. Damn it, ONI. Actually, it's more along the lines of damn it, bucket! You had one job. Not to piss yourself. What did you do? You pissed yourself in a suit. When I told you to take off your suit, you did, but you accidentally tried to put it back on the thing without actually picking it up. Thus, kaboom! Uh-oh. ONI, we good? I think we're good, but it's taking a moment. We'll probably have to redo what we did from the previous day. It's funny though. It's currently booting. And yeah, sorry about that one, YouTube guys. Nothing we can really do about it. I thought I got the click off before they reached the suit dock. The good news is technically speaking, I can lower the priorities, and that should prevent them from accidentally pissing themselves. Okay, 1865. Okay, we only made it 2 days before we had a crash. God damn it. We should just let them put the suit away, and wherever it goes is wherever it goes. I just wanted them to release it earlier so it would be a little bit faster of a cleanup. Yeah, well. Should be capturing, hopefully. Come on, OBS. I know we've got a black screen. Come on. It's still not capturing. Hold on. Hold up. We do this. And do this. It's trying. I can see that OBS is definitely trying. Come on, you. You can do it. I believe in you, OBS. I believe in you. ONI too. Stop trying to implode. uh... Well, the game is loaded. Hey, it actually did save right when she... God damn it. Fuck it, no. Okay, give it a second. It should hopefully work. There we go. Yep, there we go. And yes, everybody gets to see what Bucket did. It saved right before the crash. Perfectly timed. Oh, man. Well, at least we didn't lose anything. It's right on the dot. Downside, they still pissed themselves. Quite a few injuries. Let me do that real quick. So please deliver that extra suit. Thank you. I'm going to go down here and I'm going to lower the priority on these. Even though everything is reachable except for this one tile. This one tile we will deconstruct from here. And then put everything to 9. There we go. Oh, thankfully we didn't lose anything. Downside though, they still pissed themselves. And we've got polluted water. Yeah, well. Not the end of the world. We do have a way of cleaning this up. I did want to check. Yep. Yeah, they'll clean that all on up. Let's see. Let's make sure everything's all good. Yeah, I think it. Let me close that off, actually. I don't mind if we waste the polluted water, to be honest. Deal. Okay. That should all now work perfectly fine. Yep, nope, everything was saved. That's a first. Normally it's like I have to kick back a day. But I'm kind of impressed. ONI did not completely implode today. That's very good. All the other stuff happening, that's kind of impressive. I'll give him that one. Oh, yep, they can reach it. Okay, cool. So we will know what those objects are. You know, once Proto gets up to it. I was gonna leave those as 9 priorities, that way the dupes will do their best to get it done. Oh. Baco filet! Baco filet! I know! And it's unrefrigerated and it's in a polluted water environment. Oops. Rescue the food! It's extra, but I don't care. Leave it. Also, mop that up. We'll probably need it. Still need to figure out what we're gonna do with this thing. Probably crush it. Thanks, Oops. Oxygen-wise, I'm pretty sure we're doing pretty good. Yep. How's Dripala holding up? Oh, they're doing perfectly fine, too. For now, anyway. Make sure the automation's all good. Yep, it is. Kind of. Um. Why is that not disabling? It's disabled, but it's not accepting. Oh, there we go. Now I do need to set these for fry eggs as well. At least 2 of these need to be fry eggs. Because the fish are actually the excess, and I would like to have a lot of excess. At least at this point anyway. I'm still thinking that we're going to send a nuclear rocket to pick up the gold here. Default, we are full. Okay. So I need to change targets. We need to land a Dripola. We need to load up all of the excess gold. Send it back to main base. Because I'd rather just shoot it at the other planet than use it anywhere else. Now the bigger problem is all of this is gonna melt. Okay. Temperature check. 26 degrees. I need to lower the temperature of the obsidian that we're going to send over, I think. Maybe. Might need to send some ahead of time. Also, I really do need to finish this before we get going. Let's see here. The only thing that should accidentally pop up in here is enriched uranium, which would be manufactured. Seven. Currently disabled. This should be sending a green signal to this. It is. The downside is this is now sending a red signal here. Technically speaking, this should always be green. But only send... Yeah. So this is green. This will only send if that is capable, I believe. Why is it Commander Hellshot? The band's all the way at the top of the base. Come on, game. I'm almost thinking we do a memory toggle for this thing. You. That one. And that one. Yeah, I need to add an actual buffer gate to this thing. Because the bigger problem is that that needs to be connected with this. This probably needs to be less than the reactor. Keep that at 7, this at 8. This gets overweighted, then this gets scooted. Also move this deal, please. One. That is now disabled. This system should be sending a green signal. This will send... This can reach. Pull this out of here. Okay. That is now sent exactly 2 kilograms. Like it's supposed to. Bigger question. Does this deploy into here? Yes, it does. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. If I disable this, this runs again. Bigger question is, will it put material in here, or will it wait like it's supposed to? I don't really want to put a timer block to this. I need this information to be sent to this. And only run this if this is clear. If it's not, then I guess it can wait. Which would be... I'm almost thinking that we need to make sure that it's sending a green signal via the buffer gate only if it's receiving a green signal through the system. But like, don't know for sure. Have to finagle it. Oh, another snazzy suit. We could make them here and turn them into the better ones. So, who doesn't have a snazzy suit here? Pretty sure you have, maybe. You. Both of you have a snazzy suit. The green decor gives it away. Vern. Yes, you do. Okay, everybody here has a snazzy. Good there. Snazzy suit detected. One detected. Howdy, do you have one? You do not. Congratulations. You get a snazzy suit. The other dupes don't look very good. Oh yes, Badnik. Got it. Oh, buddy. There you go, bud. There's your snazzy suit. Congratulations, dude. Still working. Okay, so that is inserting the uranium into the conveyor loader. I guess if this happens and it shuts down the system because it's overloaded, then we just manually switch this so I don't have to make a dupe do it. I could set up like a full memory toggle setup so that way if it happens and it switches this on to insert into this, what the problem is it will still insert anyway. It's a little bit convoluted on the system. This is all to make it so it will only send in 2 kilograms worth of enriched uranium every single 74 seconds. Actually, it would be 73 seconds. I think it's 3.5 to put something into it, and then 1 extra game tick, which would be an extra second. So, yes. 74 point. Yeah, it's pretty much like right on the mark, I think. I think I've got it correct. Hard to tell. I would need to timestamp it and go look at OBS later for an exact number on it. Oh, 1 second. Ah, sorry about that. Sneezing fit. The heater just kicked on and it's like, too much dust. Okay, so everything else is working fine, it looks like. No, everything else is just weighted properly. Weird. But alright. And the radiation in here is at 5,280. Oh dear. Yeah, that's expected. I'm very certain my dupes cannot survive in this room for that long. So I am noticing we have one tile that is 0. I wonder if this tile will apply to any plant that grows here besides sleet wheat. The bigger problem, obviously. In theory, I need to strip this upper list here, and we need to put ladder here. Definitely not enough space. Because we need station. Red suit checkpoint. Which is, yep. Yep. In theory, I could probably get rid of this tile and I wouldn't have to care too much. We'd just barely be able to fit it in. This is gonna be tight. So how old is this tile now? 1,382 cycles. Yep. I think it served its purpose. It was originally here to prevent overpressure from water, which was turned to steam eventually. Oh man, door probably needs to be scooted over by one too. Thinking how we're gonna get this all set up. It's like this is as compacted as I think I can build this thing. Yeah, I'll have to scoot this over by one. Like so. This is gonna be tight. I have to get a. I'll have to disable the nuclear reactor, obviously. We'll get a pip in there and 3 sleet weight rings. And then go for. I don't know if these things can mutate. Oh, they wouldn't even be able to survive in there anyway. Maximum radiation is 2,200. Actually, I think the bees would kill them if I accidentally put CO2 in them. Oh boy. Also, it's kind of funny that it's like, ah yes, they grew up in a radioactive zone and are normally found in uranium. Ore. But they can only handle 2,200 rats per cycle. What? I think mealwood survives better in that environment than it does. Yes, 4,600 rats. Ouch. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. That's kind of a big problem, actually. Well, I need to split. I'll do 6 kilograms. We're gonna use all 6 of these. Need cooking ingredients. Actually, we'll just do 3 of them. Delete this synthetic door. And I need to delete this. Also, I need a regular pip. Only need 1. Also, this door needs to be scooted over by 1 tile, so that we can fit the radioactive protection suit. Otherwise, my dupes are gonna get out. And Kyo will be fine, but everybody else is gonna have a problem. A really bad one at that, actually. I priority this. Ow. Why did you attack Sand? He's in a suit, Mr. B. Damn it. No, you're dead. Yep. Injury is paralyzing. Yep. And he's gone. Damn it. Another bee bites the dust. I like the bees. Ah, frustrating. Now, the bigger problem, obviously, is when we strip this to fit everything in, there's a very high likelihood that we are going to get irradiated considerably once this turns on. So, need to make sure that the dupes will be okay in this small environment. I don't like this fact at all, but that is what we have to deal with. Might actually use weighted uranium to do this for the shielding purposes. Checkpoint. There we go. Tiny room realized. Once all this is created, this can become a CO2 box. We will probably have suits falling out, which is a bit of a concern, but there's really nothing I can do about it. In theory, I could probably fit another suit dock. Like right there, so that way whoever goes in this room, their suit may get put back onto a suit dock. Kinda doubt it. It is a possibility. The bigger issue is we need to get oxygen down here. Which, yeah. I guess we just take from here and spray? I can just do this. And install everything. Yeah, this should hopefully work. I knew. I'm gonna drop some obsidian down there. We should be able to reach it from there. Just in case. 81st. Railings and protective walling first. Anything edible, send it there. Power-wise, which grid is this one on? It's going to be a little annoying to do this, but I think we can. Don't need to make this out of steel up here. This is all cold, so we could just do gold with this. How many sleep week grains do we even have here? Let me head up to space so I can do a quick check here. Wait, 0. Okay, we'll have to import one. I was like, I can't remember if I had one in the fridge or not. No, we do not. We're grabbing the enriched uranium, or depleted uranium. Good. Oh, none of that is completely automated. I don't need to worry about the dupes doing anything stupid with that anymore, which is fantastic. I really should have set that up earlier. I kind of forgot about it. My bad. I know someone out there's probably just like, why didn't you do that like a couple hundred cycles ago? It's just, well, you were doing everything else. I just wasn't paying attention to it. Oh god. Of course, you guys would immediately take your suits off like a bunch of idiots. When I'm literally sitting here waiting for it to get constructed, watch them construct it, and immediately they start taking their suits off. And you're like, don't do that. No. You stand right there, buddy. Jane, put your suit back on before I smack you. Disable the building. Crazy, disable it. Only people burning their eyes out with hydrogen. There we go. Deliver me a suit, would ya? Sure we have one laying around. I think. Yeah, we've got one down here. We'll eventually have this oxygen string go all the way down to it. Because this is the emergency suit. This is the, if something terrible happens, then we eject. So there's still 4,000. Why does that keep happening? So this should not be sending anything. Must have happened at an interval in between things. That's an AND gate, right? Yes. Very certain. I'm like, pretty sure I did this right. Okay, that's all disabled. I actually need to change this up a bit. Is I need to actually put a door here. And then connect it to the automation wire. And this one needs to be set for auto. Yeah. So I need this one to be an actual room for the pips and everything else, in case we want to upgrade this to an actual farming plot. So we can throw fertilizer in here. And then we need to make sure that the entrance to here is set only if there is radiation. This also needs an OR gate, so that way I can force it open and allow the dupes in. Yes. Where do we want it? This is such a jank setup, but we don't need to make you out of steel. I just need a gold one. Let's make it at least somewhat pretty. There we go. Okay. All of that. Yeah, how goes the space research? Oh, we found the shuttle. Always good. Almost all of the polluted oxygen has been wiped out. A little bit of slime left in there, that's fine. Yeah, main base is doing okay. A little worried about the water situation. What are you doing? How is our toilet? Oh, okay, yeah, no, we're fine, we're fine. It's just like, how's the toilet's looking? Actually looking pretty good. Edibles, I need this. I also really need to probably disable sending sand. I'll finish out the rest of this. And then I need to send... Oh, we'll need to send obsidian and coal, actually. Yeah, we'll have to send some coal over. Because we'll have to do a very dumb construction. How's the water? Thank you, Gene. Congrats, buddy. Gene. Gene, you have mess table. He's eating without it. God damn it, man. You had one job. To eat in the Great Hall. God damn it. That doesn't count. You're in the doorway. God damn it. Whatever. It's fully loaded. Drapola is ready for him. I'm pretty sure this is all going to melt, but it's worth the attempt anyway. In launch sequence. Bunch of Jane. The power of radiation, girl. A stupid amount of heat. Off he goes. Nuclear fallout everywhere. As expected. Okay, oops, set that one. And we will set this door here. Dupes can climb down too, so even if the door's not there, they're still good. Thank you. There we go. Okay. That's very nice. That needs to be properly done up. Temperatures. Okay. Still working on it. That's what matters. Very good, very good. And Proto, did you get? No, you did. You got this. Ooh, another gilded. More fullerene. Oh, thank goodness. It's beautiful. Like 10%, but it counts. That's what it is. Very far, 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 far away from where I can actually clean it on a regular basis. Wheeling asteroid. Hey, methane. Nice. Very powerful stuff. I think that means that this thing is done. Yep, area complete. Downside is that the amount of oxygen is about to get released into space. Because, yeah, there's 10 kilograms in there. No, it won't. That'll get sucked back through the system, and I won't have to care too much. Also, this power line needs to be removed. At least in current formation. Because I don't want to put it underneath the nuclear reactor because the Radbolt engine will annihilate it. Add fact to the system. Who's got a toilet problem? Somebody has a bathroom problem, and there is a bee beelining it towards my thing. Concern? Mr. Bee, can you just eat the uranium, please? Please and thank you. I don't really trust this, but I kind of want to see what happens. How many of you guys are going to beeline it out of there? Grab the uranium. Come on. You can do it. Good, good. Gather more. Just bring it back to your hive. Going to. Okay. Now, I don't mind if a little bit of oxygen gets in there. It'll eventually get pulled out anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. That's why we left the little pump in there. At this point, that's all it's really used for, is cleaning out any oxygen that gets in here. CO2 gets consumed by the bees, so that's completely fair and reasonable. I really want them to dig up more uranium. I still don't know how we're going to clean this up. Don't do that. One, two, three. There should be a thing right there, so that should be fine. So, I need one pip. I'm gonna high priority that. You. Congratulations, buddy. You're going to help me do a lot of work here. Now, the other thing that we need. I need a single sleet wheat grain. On manual use. That's currently unreachable. 65%. There's 18 right there. 18 there. Send to both. Okay, good. They brought the fleet weight. System. Ooh, Sweetles. Nope. Better version, goodness no. Green Thumb, not bad, but no. Interests do not align. Hydrophobic. No. Sweetles it is. Burns coming and running. Thanks, bud. Send them through. There we go. So current errand, good. Everyone else bringing on up to my old refrigerator, good. Gotta super handle the rest. And yep, yeah, Twinkle Toes. Oops, you may uproot that because that doesn't do squat for us down here. Good job, Pip. Already taking the sleep weight over. Good little buddy. Come on. That's a good dupe. One. Oh, Robo's coming over to help. Thanks, bud. Now we need to remove that one with a pipple plant. And we can slowly remove the ladders in order. Let me go here. I need seed. There. Okay, Mr. Pip. I have one objective for you. If you can complete it, you will live. If you fail, well, that's okay too. You did your best. You're definitely gonna become a slab of meat though if you fail. Temperature will destroy you in here. Okay, Pip, you can do it. You can do it. Right there. Come on. There is no plants anywhere else. I believe in you. Come on. Come on, Pip. Get to sleep. Wait. Please. Pip. For all that is holy, grab the freaking sleep weight. moving closer. He has eyeballed the sleet wheat. Come on. Nope. He's going back. Fine. If you're having a moment, I'll leave you to it. There. System's all cleaned. I'm going to leave the pip. Maybe he'll do it. They can plant in sets of 3, but after the first 3, you have to do it in order. There he goes. Thanks, buddy. Come on. You got one more to go. Good, good. Thank you. And then one more to go. You can do it. I know you can. Please stop staring at the sleep wheat and plant it. Please. Please, little pip. Come on. Yeah, pretty much. Also, welcome back, Spoon. It's been a while. Your dupe is doing great, actually. And yes, he has one more to go here, and then I can bring 3 more down. And this hits around 5,000 rads. So, he will need to be rescued before something bad happens. I'm just hoping he finishes. Let's go check on Spoon real quick. Where are you? That's right. Ah, there's Spoon. No problem. Your dupe has been extremely helpful. You are my primary mechatronics engineer when it comes down to rocketry and construction. Morale of 28. Your skill points currently are 17 on construction, 10 for excavation with the suit, so you're technically 0 without it. Yes, you have been. You've been around for a very long time, actually. Where is your date? How old are you? Yep, where are you? Where's your cycle time? I don't want to have to pull up colony summary to go look at it. There we go. You are currently 1,631 cycles. All. Yeah, you came in around cycle 200, roughly. Sadly, you can't dig, but you could do everything else. So you are an extremely effective construction unit, and have been very helpful. You are the only dupe in the colony, though, that almost died due to a bug. We haven't had a death, but you were the one that came closest. I think you had 57 kilocalories left because you were technically incapable of handling going and eating. Your dupe literally just stood right here and refused to get any food for, I don't know, maybe about 3 cycles. And I literally had to triple lock you into the room. And then forced them to, I literally force fed them so they wouldn't die because they were just being dumb. They fixed the bug, but it was a bug for a week. And it was just really dumb. If you go back in the episodes, you'll end up finding it where it's like, God damn it, Spoon, eat! Eat, god damn it! It's like, why are you not eating? You are literally staring at the food! What the hell are you doing? The only way I got it to do it was I locked you into the room, I literally glitched you into the doorway, and then I forced your schedule to be nothing whatsoever, and then I believe, if I remember correctly, I set your schedule... where is it? Actually, I just set up a... Yeah, I had to set up the primary schedule of absolutely nothing. And this was the emergency schedule list, just to get you to do something and actually eat. But once they fixed the bug, it hasn't happened since. But it was definitely one of those like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. And I noticed the problem almost immediately, and I kept trying to work through it for at least 2 cycles. I think it was like 2.5. Because I noticed it at the half cycle mark, and I was like, oh fuck, oh no, oh no. Proto? Proto. Why are you idling in the vacuum chamber? There you go. And yes, sometimes the dupes just... yeah. There's no other way to describe it than really brain dead. Now then. Let's see. I should have Jean here now. Yes, Jean did arrive, which is very good. Jean, I need you to put your suit back on. And I need you to bring it back up here. Actually, no. I don't want you to wear it. I need you to just take it. Okay, I'll do that. I want you to do that. I also had to make sure he wouldn't put it on while trying to sweep it at the same time. Otherwise, you can black all your game. Still a problem. Not really a solution yet. Gene, you don't need to run on that. I'm pretty sure your athletic skill is maxed. Yeah, you're literally maxed. Good level 20. You are done. Okay. I still want you to be set as crew. I need to re-queue this back here. The main thing is that I need you to load up all, and I do mean this. Where is it? Refined metals. I want all the gold. Yeah. Gene, no. Just makes it back to the rocket. Man down. Fine. Are you sure that there's an extra bed for you? Yes, there is. I'll probably actually bring back some more food because we are currently making tons and tons of fried mushroom and also just a lot of food here in general. It's all excess. I think the bigger issue is we have a ton of gold that needs to all be shipped away, and we just haven't been doing so. Did I ever add a shutoff for that? I did not. No. Either way, let me do this. Sweep that. Sweep that one. I have set up a really, really crappy auto launcher, but it's not very good. It's over here in the corner. There is just enough radiation to justify it, but not great enough. Eventually we'll get more nuclear waste produced, so we don't have to worry about it. The bigger issue is that I need that, and probably the excess cobalt, which, there's a lot. I need all of that in the rocket. Also, I need to allow everybody through this door. And everyone should be able to do that door and that one. Let's see. Okay, cool. So everybody is currently bringing gold up to the rocket. So I didn't incinerate anything, I hope? No, I did not. Yes. Like, downside, are all the pipes and everything else still attached? Yes, for now. It's always a concern. I will admit this will probably melt soon. It's at 149. So when that takes off, that'll probably go to like 600. His landing is not as bad as taking off. Nope. There you go. Yeah, right now we're just packing up all the gold that we can. We are going to come back here to main base. Also, somehow I'm still leaking nuclear waste over here. Don't know how that's happening, but I'm assuming it's something to do with the particle accelerator getting compressed. We are up to 51,000 kilograms worth of nuclear waste, which is really good. I am seeing injuries, though, that I don't... I'm assuming it's the bees. Sandwraith is definitely the bees. I did see him get stabbed. So he's being targeted right now. Okay, Pip, you have done great. I need to remove this one. And then I need to add cooking ingredient, sleet wheat grains again. And soon the entire system will be back online. I'm wondering if I am not delaying this enough. We'll try 5 seconds. This might be needed to be lowered instead of this one. This is almost completely automated. I just have to manually do this. My dupes do no longer need to come into this room ever again unless something goes terribly wrong. Let me higher priority that. Good job, dupes. Keep bringing my stuff. Yeah, we're going to pack the rocket full of cobalt and gold. We do have, I think it's been a while, Spoon. I did finish the giant radiator. As a heads up, it's quite impressive. I'm very happy with it. But yes, this radiator handles 4 volcanoes. Right now we've only got 3 because I still got to tap that one. But, yeah, it's handling a cobalt volcano, 2 golds, and soon to be another one. And it easily is able to handle it. And that is without supercoolant. If I threw supercoolant into this, it would be even more efficient and we would use actually less power and just cool down faster. I just don't have enough yet to justify shipping it over and building it. Soon, though. Very soon we will probably end up doing that. Uh, 5 minutes if you're talking about Trove. It's currently 4:55 and resets at 5 a.m. Central. Are you needing to do something? Atu? I still need to get more power to these. I like how Gene is just like, ah yes, I am here to help, and just immediately runs to the power station. You could be actually helping by delivering stuff to make this faster, but no. Also, apparently we have a buff in space. How did you get out? You can't go through that door. I didn't shoot any eggs over here, so I don't know how they got out, but okay. Weird, but sure. I was like, wait a minute, why is there 2 puffs floating about? There's also a very high likelihood that he'll die in here when this takes off, but that's if he gets really close to that. Oh well. Either way, that all works. Okay, let's queue those up. This is all set for sweep only, so the dupes will not grab this gold and take it anywhere. Oh no, who made a mess? Oh no, pencils. God damn it. Pencils, come down here for a second. And... actually... yeah, just walk here. Unequip your suit. Walk down to there. And put your suit back on. Where are you on my list? Open. Pencil, pencil. And when you're done, mop up the piss that you just released. Fine. It happens. Mistake happens. It's okay. Randomly piss yourself in your suit while you're delivering gold to a rocket. Okay. Only mildly annoying. Nope. No, deep down. Alright, I'm just gonna kick that to a 9. Maybe they'll keep doing it. Okay. So, I need the pip. Take this out. He's lost 65%. Now we wait. Still at 20 tons of enriched uranium, which is always good. Still have a lot more actually laying around. I just haven't shipped it around yet. Okay, Pip. One job. Get this slate wheat into this tile. While you deal with that. I think everyone here is okay. We're at 70. We are going down in food. Only lightly. Okay. We're not feeding the tree yet. You need to clean up the tree. Okay, Oops, you guys know you can just idle in this room. It's a recreation room. Also, he can't reach you, so there's that. I almost feel like cleaning up the rest of the terrain. Just to get most of the stuff out of here. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Oh, nope, 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 not that. Don't go in this room. Ignore any orders I put in there. Sorry, dupes. I know I locked the door, so just in case. Do I have a drop-off point? I do have a drop-off point. Leave only all. Except organics. The only thing we want is that, and that. Liquefiables. I don't want any of that. That would be a very dumb idea. No eggs. All the seeds can go there, so that's fine. There we go. I don't really have the resources to do that. I want to badly, but I can't really put a weight plate just to check it. Ooh, that was loud. Thanks, game. Okay, we're gonna clean up the base a bit. Okay, need to keep that rolling. Oh wait, I forgot. I need to allow Gene through here. Gene, where are you? There. There you go, bud. Eventually I will be locking those doors down properly if I ever bring any other dupes here. Gene's just kind of hanging out. Gene is legitimately just like, yeah, I'm here. What's up? Pretty sure we've eradicated everything except for where the pocket. Yeah. There's this little blob here, and this little blob here, and then here. And I haven't got into this little toxic zone yet. Make sure that this is just a polluted oxygen situation. Yes. Time to be a bastard. Down, and then, and that. That should get the dupes rolling. And they'll be able to handle that no problem. Dupe. Sorry, Pip. Pip. Pip, there is no plants there. God damn it. He's only got a plant there. I keep forgetting it's 3. Unless I do a very specific glitch thing that makes it so we can't detect it, but yeah, we'll have to do it one by one. So I forgot I needed to make sure that this one was not planted. Yes, when that one's not planted, then we can get one there and then one there. That's where I was like, wait a minute. Wait, I'm being an idiot. I was like, wait, yes. One by one by one. So remove that one real quick. And this should hopefully get him to plant that one. So we can sweep that up. Once that one's planted, then we can remove this one and get that one planted. The big downside to this, though, is I'm pretty sure the radiation doesn't reach this tile unless it's a 2x2, or sorry, a 2x1, which then it should be able to reach. Okay, Pip, I need you to plant over here. Good job, Hellshot. Also, on your way out, can you please grab that sleet wheat? It is up to 100% because it was planted. Nope. Apparently not. God. There. 9 priority. Okay, good. They did grab it. Thank you, Zhao. Okay. Now he should be able to properly plant that one there. Then we remove this ladder and he can plant one there. Oh yeah, forgot. Alternate and then 3x3. So three plants, 3 plants, 3 plants. I was like, wait a minute. Why are you not planting? Oh, yes. Forgot. You need to do it one by one. There you go, Pip. Oh, come on. You're staring at it. Pip, no. God damn it. Yep, I really need you to plant one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And possibly 5, 6. Yeah, probably 6 in total. Downside is I don't think the radiation will reach over here. It kind of reaches to this corner, but it doesn't really go past this point. Yep. I know. Yep, I really need you to plant this. If you plant it, I will recover you and put you back into one of the sanctuaries. Yep, please. Just walking past it. I know you can do it. Done this before with the trees. I'm wondering. 1, 2, 3, 4. All the way across with that one. And then that we also naturally planted all of these. So it's like, yeah, it's completely spacing the. We got to do it one by one by one. I was like, wait, oh yes, he's doing it. He's doing it right on the autosave. Good job, Pip. I knew you could do it. You just had to wait. I also got to remove that ice. That's entombing the suit talk. Thanks, Pip. One more to go. We'll leave the 2 ladders intermittently because they won't really matter that much. But yeah, we'll have 4 sleet wheats going here. Eventually, I'll probably switch these 2 out for other plants. The big downside, obviously, is that I will need to warm this room up. Because this will be our mutator room. So, we'll do cold first because I already have the cold here. So probably nosh beans will be next. Okay, buddy. Okay, cool. Taking all that. Sweep only. Oh, come on. Pip. You can do it. But yes, while we wait for the Pip. A bigger issue that we're going to have to run into, obviously, is... Pretty sure we need to mutate Bomb Lily. Yes, Bomb Lily can get a mutation. Fog Bucket's going to be a pain in the butt, because I need to get the temperature up to 20 degrees. This needs to be pretty much at 20 degrees, so we'll do that one together with this one. Dust cap needs CO2 in the room, so we can just do that. That's also fine in those temperatures. This is the one. That's just all fine. How is the radiation? 4,600. This might be too much, Brads. I might need to add more plastic underneath it. Gas grass, how much can you handle? 12. Okay, gas grass display. And that needs to be in chlorine, which is okay. Hydrocactus, I don't know if you need one. I don't think it does. Nosh Sprout, you are the most useless thing in this entire game. It hurts to say that. But yes, the Nosh Bean is one that needs to be in carbon dioxide. Peppernut can be in anything, I believe, that isn't chlorine. Actually, no. Bit of water, farm plot, air pressure. Yeah, it only cares about air pressure. Thank goodness. And its temperature of 35 degrees. Saturn Critter Trap. I don't think the Saturn Critter Trap will be able to survive down here. Let's go grab those principles real quick, though. See what we got. Ooh, Jekyll eggs. Anemic cooking. You actually have good skills, and then you got anemic. So, ouch. Critter aversion. No. Yeah, we'll just take the Jekyll eggs. I guess at main base? I'm not really making another Jekyll farm yet, so that's fine. Yep. Yep, please. Pretty sure we do have a Nosh Sprout here somewhere. Or a Nosh Bean. Which we can't do anything with it yet because I don't have enough I don't have enough natural gas generation to cook with yet. In theory, I could take a gas pipe and take it the whole way, but that would also be kind of a pain in the butt. Okay, so when that runs, we should get a little bit of CO2 down here. And I need to atmos pressure this. Okay. I also need this, that way I can fill this room with CO2 later. So that'll be a thing that we'll need to do, but for right now, we're just using this as our, technically, refrigerator. Okay, the pip has done the job. Good job, buddy. I need to wrangle you. I wish I could rename you. Because that's something we can do in base game. A bit sad. And I need to bring you... Where do we want to drop you off? Ah, here. Perfect. You get to go into one of the sanctuaries. Congratulations. I forget. Where was that one going? Ah, yes. All the way up here. So many eggs. So much food. Yes, I need to bring that pip. He did such a good job. Guys, please retrieve the pip. I would like him all the way over here. Thanks, bud. I'll make sure he makes it there. He did a stellar job getting all of the sleet weed in. That's his reward. Primo's getting him all the way across the base. There we go. He's almost there. And... Pip delivered. Great success. Ah, he went down to 17.2. Oof. Oh, good job, buddy. You now have secured your life in the sanctuary. Mission successful. Yeah. No, you've done a good job, buddy. Alright, now we just need to clean this thing out. I need to disable this. That. And I think once all that is done... Make sure that shuts this off. Yeah, so this one is green, and that should stay active. This one's just sending a red. This should be good. I switch it for that. That will lock. This is above. It's below 4,000. And that should be active. That will run whenever it runs and create some excess CO2, which is fine. All of these must be grown normally. I don't think the dupes are going to get around to grabbing all this. Put that on up to 9 priority. No available errands. Yeah, well. Let's see. How much uranium is there? 4 kilograms again. Okay, so it was definitely not the other one. This needs to be set back to 10. Probably 12, where we had it. And this one is the one that needs to be set to 6. Okay. Let's see. Oh, I need manufactured material. Enriched uranium. Please remove the material. Thank you. Re-enable the nuclear reactor. That's all purged. And it's sending a green signal. Full load. I might actually need to add a timed buffer gate for this thing. Actually, no, it would be for this one. Because I need a delay in this autosweeper arm so we don't actually send 4 kilograms of material over to the other one. Because what's happening is this is grabbing from this thing twice. And it should only be doing it once. Let's see. I might actually need to move this up to 24. Actually, no, it should. If I put a delay on this. Okay, yep, that needs to be 24. As if this is enabled for 4.5 seconds, that turns it on for 4.5 seconds. This is enabled, and it will send a red signal until it receives the proper signal from this, which will delay this one just long enough that it shouldn't double take. Hopefully. If it does, the system will shut off. And this is all to literally buffer 2 kilograms or whatever weight that we want, because we can set the weight of the uranium. Oh, excuse me. But we can set the enriched uranium rate from this smart storage bin. And all of this is literally as fail-safe as I can possibly make it. That way, I don't have to think about it, and this doesn't actually ever need to run at full speed. Yep, there it goes. And there's the reactor. Hello, radiation. That door is now locked. Okay, Sleetweets, are you guys okay? 4,858. 5,280. 1,858. And 0 in the corner. Okay. I had a feeling that would be the case. There's a lot of radiation. As a side note, for anyone that is new to Oxygen Not Included, neutronium is a lie, and if you have 2 pieces of it together, you actually cause an increase. Because even though it says radiation blocking 100%, the other side is actually gaining about 7,084 to 7,680. Yeah. It's pretty bad. Also over here you go from 34 to 360, just roughly fluctuating. So yeah, that's just yeah. It's 10 times the radiation. So yes, I have to be careful where we are placing this. I will probably add more plastic underneath here to reduce the amount of radiation for when we want to actually create mutant plants. I don't think... Does the Saturn Critter Trap actually need mutation? Colony summary. Check the GMO. The GMO achievement. Yep. GMO A-OK. Nosh sprout, sleet wheat, spindly grubfruit, bomb lily, bog bucket, pinch of peppernut, waterweed, dash of salt vine, bristle blossom, dust cap, gas grass, mealwood, and thimbleweed. No, it does not. So I don't need to worry about that one. But there are other plants that can only survive at 2,200 rads. Pinch of peppernut was 9,800, which is fine. Nosh sprout was 9,800. Hydrocactus can't survive, but we don't mutate it. Gas grass was 12,000, which is great. Dust cap was a lower end, 4,600. Which right now, none of the plants in there would be alive if it was at that limit, so... It's a wee bit too strong for that. 4,600. 5,600. Yeah, I'll have to add another layer of plastic underneath this, so we'll dig down a little bit. Remove this plastic and some of the insulation. Then we'll get back to it. Here comes more right on time. Perfectly weighted. Good job. I love my buffer gate system on this. It's just really nice. I wish it wasn't as hideous, but it's as compacted as I can possibly make it. Because everything is hinging on this auto sweeper not reaching this, and this auto sweeper not actually being able to go anywhere else. So as long as this is distributing to this canister, this one can only grab this and not the actual distributed enriched uranium, that is the minimum range of which everything is safe. Now, obviously, the radiation itself isn't exactly safe to be in, but it's still not as bad as some of my planets in space. And this perfectly regulates how much uranium is actually going into the system. Even when I'm not looking at the planet, which is very nice. So, as far as I'm concerned, the only thing I have to worry about is making sure I hit the signal switch whenever we actually end for the night, for each episode that we do. Because as long as this button is off, I don't have to worry about this randomly imploding when we save and load the game. Because if you have the nuclear reactor requesting, as I've said before, we've had issues, and this is just foolproofing the whole system and just making sure that I remember to say when we're saving, we turn off the reactor. But the reactor, by the way, runs at full tilt no matter what you do, so all that matters is how much enriched uranium that you're actually putting into it, more so than anything else, because it will always run at full tilt. So, if you want to ever set up one of these basic systems, if you can call it basic, it's pretty much just a bunch of filter gate systems and AND gates with one NOT gate. And I will also leave this up for just a second for the people on YouTube. So, we also do have emergency shutoff switches. We have one for the actual weights distribution, one for the input, and the weight distribution entire system, if I hit this button, will completely become disabled and the reactor will just be shut off no matter what, because there will be no more enriched uranium going into the system. Yes, always include emergency signal switches, especially when working with nuclear reactors. I could run this thing completely full tilt and not have to worry about it, but I just prefer to keep it at a minimum. Also, if I remember correctly, after doing a little bit more research on nuclear plants again, because, again, we haven't done nuclear plants in over a year, the main thing that I need to worry about with these things is that the only time that I'm going to pick them up, in order to harvest them, is when the reactor is online. If the reactor is online, then it should count the radiation input, and that is it. It doesn't matter if it's actually online like right now or not, unless they were harvestable, which is very nice. That will be the primary objective to get done for a while. Now the other thing is I do need to find a spot to put a plant analyzer. And I kind of want to put it in a good spot here. Let's see, actually. How much diamond do we have? Very little temperature transfer going on. Except for right there. And almost want to add some extra aluminum along this pipe segment. Yes. Yeah, I mean that's all. It's always going to be somewhat warm in this room. That's expected. I think 140 is going to be the top out temperature in this room from time to time. We do got to be careful with that. The good news is we should be able to rapidly cool down the rest of the bit. Yep, there it goes. Diamond tiles. They work wonders. Yep, all that thing is off-gassing a bunch of very cold liquids. Our entire base is probably going to cool down considerably for a little while. But we're going to add some more aluminum just to cool down the system a little bit more. It should not directly impact the nuclear waste now that we're producing very hot nuclear waste with the actual reactor below. The only issue would be is if we ever run out, but I believe at our current pace it will take around 3,000 cycles with our current enriched uranium to actually run out. And if I release the bees to process the remaining chunks of it, we will be doing very well. They're already kind of doing it, but they're just not speeding through it like I would hope that they would. They are doing a very good job. I need to actually just directly feed them uranium ore. I don't think we've seen a green gas cloud yet, have we? Organic mass. Need a radioactive gas cloud. Yeah. We did find another gilded, which is very good news. And I have yet to see my radioactive gas cloud. Which is mildly concerning because I really don't want it to be around the I don't want it to be around here. It's like, oh no, please no. I don't want the Mu asteroid to have something of use on it because I don't want to go there. I know we will eventually at the very end, but it's like, please no, don't make me go there. I hate unlocking the Mus. Like, that's the very last thing that you want to do. Because the performance hit on the game is always awful. They are not a fun species to work with. They are very temperamental as well. What? Okay, so all of our animation is working. Pretty sure... Yeah, this has not run yet. I'm still debating about how we're going to get the natural gas from over here into the base for cooking purposes. I do want to do that at some point. I'm thinking that we actually just probably shove a range down here. This is going to be a pain in the butt. That's all I'm going to say on that front. Very rare for me to want to have to worry about this. I could probably clean up some of the suit docks because we're not really using them anymore. I was running the full suits just for a little while to help with building the nuclear reactor and also cleaning out the bottom. Mostly just get all this built very quickly. But we really don't need to be running all the dupes in one giant suit system. It's always nice to do it because then you don't have to care about them, like, at all, because they'll be able to handle everything, like all temperatures, and like you can make your entire base a vacuum to increase performance, which is a good idea. I think maybe eventually we'll probably just make a double Rodriguez and then possibly use our compressor over here, clean up all of this, and then rearrange some things. But I really do need to vacuum this out, put the bees down here, and then figure out what we're going to do with this giant section. This is really the only thing I'm just like, I have no idea what to do with it. There's really nothing over here of value besides the carbon dioxide geyser, and even then, that's not really that much value. Yes, I mean, I'm already producing enough CO2 to run my slicksters, so, and at the proper temperatures. Kind of in a really weird spot right now, at least on that front. Okay. Yeah, we're pretty much like right on time. That's very nice. Okay, I do need to make another lead suit though. Okay. So we should be able to fulfill this thing's requirements. It already has a suit in it, but we have not gotten oxygen down to it yet because this needs to be completely cleaned out before I do anything. And I also need to deconstruct everything and then reconstruct it because the temperature in here is going to stay very terrible. So that is a problem. Not a terrible problem, it's just, it is a problem. This suit dock is only here as an emergency in case something goes terribly wrong with the reactor and then I have to get, well, I will make Keo eat some actual seafood. Because they are my glow stick dupe choice. As you can see them glowing and running around. They have 33% radiation resistance. The suit gives them another 66%. And then seafood gives them 15%, which puts them over 100, which means that even if this thing was to go off for whatever reason, they would have over 100% immunity. So they would take no radiation whatsoever and be able to walk around in here like a complete idiot and not care. But as we noted, this is the emergency button. It's like all the other ones, they're perfectly fine. This is the my oh shit suit. And hopefully I will never need to use it. But we have it there just in case. Dupes. I don't know where you're going to put them, but just sprinkle those two if you could. Thank you. So this pip is now stuck in a door. Please rescue it. Why are you out? What? There we go. Okay, Dupes, please bring that over. There it goes. Okay. Well, now we actually have growing sleet wheat within a radioactive confined box, which is fantastic. Downside is... Wait, what are we... Ow! And UKB is radioactive, but... also resistant. I guess they just hugged this... I guess they hugged the Wheezewort, I guess? I don't know. It's really the only way that can happen. Don't know what we're gonna do with the excess water there. Maybe dump it down here for these guys. We're up to 92,000 in cooked seafood. That's pretty good. How goes the temperature control? Hey! We're getting there. We can't cross up here, but we can go to there. This is the last tile we can stand on that's safe. Have we cleared that one? Yes, we can. We can stand here now, too. So that is our abject limit, and that is our abject limit. If they cross over that, they'll start taking damage. Might still take damage, though, here, just because of the abyssalite temperatures. They are making progress, though. As you can see, the lava is slowly being retreated. It is ungodly slow, though. There's really nothing else I can do about it. Even if I, like, poked a hole into space, revented all of the steam, and then put more water into here, it would still not be enough. There's just too much temperature in this room. And too much thermal mass. It's working its way through. It's just, this is... Yeah, flipped asteroids are a pain to work with to clean up. I think bothering me right now is the fact that we have a liquid sulfur geyser back here and it is currently in spongy rock. Because it hasn't re-solidified yet. But I really want this thing. We have so much space on this planet I just can't use. And then all of this is going to be sleet wheat. Over here, I don't know. Maybe more sleet wheat. I really just... I need to build the sleet wheat farm so we can feed Experiment 52B remotely. AKA, I need to get nuclear waste here. The bigger problem is that we have to clear the crust so that way we can actually get on up to space safely and then start building our radiation shell, because I mean, look how much space we have on this planet. 26 tiles right there. I could fit an entire hydrogen rocket in that. So much space. Yeah. Like our steam rocket. 25 tiles. That's maximum. Nuclear is much smaller, obviously, with 20. But hydrogen, if I remember right, was 35, I think, at cap. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, you could fit an entire, like, medium-sized hydrogen rocket in there and not care. Oh, look at the pip. Yeah, we'll do that. I also really like the new labs. I'll be happy when we finally finish this playthrough, because then I can actually start working with the labs from the start, and we can actually set up a lab room, and then start really redesigning early bases. Because I'm betting we could do it way faster now. I don't know what planet type we'll do, though. This one is obviously the last one, which was Radioactive Ocean. And obviously we do not check the map, like, seed before we actually do the maps here. We just pick a seed, pick the actual difficulties, and just go, okay, these modifiers are not completely cancer. Let's go! And then hope it's good. Never steered me wrong. It doesn't mean it's good. It's never steered me wrong. I also really need to pump all this fluid out of here. Is there anything dangerous in this water that I need to worry about? No. How much pressure is in here already? 63. Yeah, to be honest, we could probably drain this. The biggest problem is obviously the slime lung. Good news is that's all regular oxygen. So none of this would survive. Also, this pipe goes through a filter system and then gets ejected into space. As you can see, it goes all the way up here and then gets yeeted off. I also need to re-filter these. How is our food? Trap. 89%, not even close. Okay, good. Yes, I need my dupes to be shipping more and more gold and copper, or cobalt, not copper, but more gold and cobalt up. Oh, speaking of copper. Nictophobic, farming and farming. You two are almost exactly alike. The only difference is Hassan is better than you slightly, Harold. Because he has Quick Learner, which is one of the best perks in the game, by far. And he has also a Sparkle Streaker, which is one of the best perks in the entire game. I don't know if... I don't think we need another farmer right now. A Quick Learner, though, on a farmer is really good. Requires light to sleep, though. I don't have nightlight rooms set up for other people, and I don't have anyone that's glowing here. Also, I couldn't leave them over at the other base yet. I will need to send more... I need to send more meals over soon. I know we'll be getting a shipment of meat from these guys soon, because the eggs are starting to pop. But I don't think I can leave him here because there's really no farming going on this planet. And there'll be very limited amounts anyway. There's just no room. And look how tiny this place is. It's literally Paku or bust, really. And then shipping food in. I don't think we'll make enough slime to work for food. We'll have to use it for water purposes. So there's that. And then that leaves naturally planted stuff. And obviously we haven't gotten a pip to be teleported. So I think Hassan's kind of screwed. I don't mind him though. And he is a very good farmer. But he's not right for this base. And I think maybe the water world would be useful for him, but we're not there yet, so I can't really take him yet. Yeah. Sadly, buddy, next time. When we actually get to the water world and we get the entire giant water consumption system going, because, yeah, this planet is just all water, very little surface area. You have to build a hanging garden base on top of it. You can either build under the planet or you can build a hanging garden. I normally build a hanging garden and then build my way down. It just works out better that way in most cases. But it is such a hard planet to actually get built up on initially. Because you have to take so much resources with you. Like you just pack a rocket with just igneous rock. That's literally it. Like what I'm doing here, just pack it in with tons and tons of refined metals and igneous rock, and then pray that your dupes can get it done within like 20 cycles. And if you run out at any point, then just ship more over. Really the only way to go. Anyone else injured? I'm seeing a health bar. Ersatz is randomly injured. No idea. Oh, let's do it. Self-deprecating. Ah, god damn it. I wish this thing would stop doing that. Like, yeah, sure, it's free nuclear waste. It's really nice that it's free nuclear waste, but man, do I despise it when it does it. Like, yeah, I need more of that, and I am A-okay with that, but, on the other hand, why? Why do you keep doing this? Why has this not been patched? Frustrating. He's running for the bathroom. It's not Grem. Oh, of course, it's Sandwich. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Do you have a small bladder or something? No. Let me go to your schedule. Let's. Where are you on the schedule? You're buried in here somewhere. Damn it. Do I need to give you an extra? That would be there. I will give you 2 extra times for that. Doesn't really do anything. There. It should hopefully give him enough time that he will stop getting the stupid bathroom warning. Because he keeps having the bathroom burger bug, where he'll run to the bathroom, jump into the lavatory, and then immediately I get a warning that he can't reach, he can't reach food. Or he can't reach the toilet when he's in the toilet. And I'm like, nope! What the... Why? Why are you like this? And they just keep doing it. And it's infuriating, because you're just kind of sitting here like, well, there's nothing I can do about this. So maybe giving him a little bit more time to get to the bathroom might help him stop losing his goddamn mind. But I kind of doubt it. Still thinking I need to do... Kind of debating if I want to add canvases or if I just want to add more glass. Yeah, I think for now it's fine. Oh wait, did not actually get that one finished either. Forgot about it. Yeah, we'll just use copper. Why not? There we go. It should automatically pick up anything from there. Sadly, I can't cover this middle area because I have the plant there, but the rest of it should be taken care of. And while they're building that, I think the dupes have actually cleaned up almost the entire base. Good job, guys. Yeah. They cleaned almost all of it up. Good work. Let's see. Anything else I need to grab? We did crush all of that. I think it's time that we build the basin for Experiment 52B. And then go from there. The bigger problem is I think we're going to steam it off here on this planet so that way we can start making the resin immediately. Which is going to be a little tough to do, but not impossible. Mildly tedious. We need to build that. We need a pump right here. We need a pipe. I want to take it down or over? Or both? Hmm. I want a steam room in here. So I need to get this up here. Which means I either want to go up and over or down and over. Down puts me into the chlorine gas room, which is perfectly fine. As long as we get the materials, which we are severely lacking on. Needs to go to there. And then I guess up and over. Gonna be so tight. I'm not liking the look of this at all. Everything for experiment 52B. God damn it. Okay, guys. Start deconstructing all of these. Do need that one cleaned up. He was begging for the bathroom, so do that real quick. Yep. Go take a piss, guys. Spoon, Spoon, come back. Spoon. There's only one toilet here. It's fine. You can wait. Go in there. There you go, bud. Okay. Now we can remove this tile. Remove that tile. Build that one. Deconstruct that one. Deconstruct that. And that. And yes, the pump will be down here in this little basin down here. I will probably remove these two tiles here at a later date. I really just need it to fall straight down each corner. I don't think Experiment 52B needs these corners. Downside, obviously, is that we will lose the 78 tiles, I think. 11. I might need to compress the room a bit. Maybe. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see if we want to keep the recreational room combined with Experiment 52B. I don't really think he's that good of a companion, but the dupes seem to like him. But on the other hand, it's extremely hostile if they go into that room. But he's perfectly passive if you don't. So, yeah, there's that. Do I trust it? Hell no. Also, the pump, I should mention, will be able to pump in a T-block like this. Yeah. Oh, sorry, actually, this way. So it should get these 3 tiles down here, and it ever flows up to there. Wrong one. I was thinking of the air pump for a second. Which is a T-block from this tile. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Obviously, you would get the bottom, but we're not. And I do need to add that. Are you made out of copper? Yes. That's all fine and dandy. We'll just leave it alone like that. I do need to go back to hollow because this is all filled, so we need to issue yet another delivery. I'm just going to send more gold because that's 40 tons of cobalt. I think we're good with 40 tons of refined cobalt. I could definitely use more, but I need gold to plate everything. Because I want everything plated in gold. Period. A bigger question. Why have you guys not sweep all of this? Bring me all the gold. It needs to be loaded up into the rocket. And yes, I know it's heavy, but please keep working on it, guys. We have gold volcanoes for a reason. We are going to use them. Yes, for anyone wondering, this is what gold plating does for you. Kind of absurd. Like, look at all the industrial equipment. I'm still seeing green. It's nuts. Gold is a ridiculous resource in this game. Peeps just love it. Even if nothing actually looks like it's gold unless you turn this on. Like, here's your material overlay. Everything blue is cobalt. Everything yellow in here is gold. And the dupes love their gold. I did probably need to work on sending more meat over, maybe. Pretty big maybe. I also need to move this water into here. I should think I have a path. Kinda. Guess we can move the water first and then do it. I kind of want to flood the system all the way up to here. We are actually producing more water than we are consuming, I believe, at this point, but only slightly. Yeah. Ever so slightly. We're converting food into water. Downside is we are spending food. And our only natural supply of food is the Paku. They're not consuming anything. They're just sending the positive food all the way through. Just going. Oh, you're going there. Okay. That makes sense. Let's put that down to a 9. It doesn't need to be done immediately. Reasonable. Okay. That's all nice and set up there. This should send it all the way over here. And yes, that should be fine. No? That's your breath meter. I was about to say, please don't tell me that's your injury. How did you get hurt? There's nothing on this planet that can hurt you besides a tree, and he's currently locked up in a tiny little cell. Apparently he's currently passive. Okay, that's all perfectly fine. Those are now up to 10%. It's going to take a while for these, but they will eventually grow. Which is good. Should I actually switch this? The reason being is that... Yes. If the radiation is high, and these become available, then I want the dupes to be able to enter this room. Yes. Okay. Now the bigger issue is I do need to technically add more radiation protection. So much rads. The temperature in here? -20 still? Okay, yeah, no. Sleep weed is safe. We're good. Yes, if these become available for actually auto, make sure they're all set. Yes, once these things grow up, the only way I want the dupes to touch them is if they're being irradiated. 85. Okay, that's safe. For duplicants, that's safe. Just have to make sure. This isn't safe, but this is. So, thankfully, they can stand here and not worry about it. If they ever have to put the suit on, they'll have to stand there, which is not great. 1,000 there, 400 there. Technically, it's safe on this tile, not so much on this one, but if I ever force them into the suit, then they should be fine. But yes, the only time that they're allowed in this room is if there's radiation going. And that is it. So yeah, that should all work out eventually, once it's all grown. Then we can decide how we're going to do this, because we need to do nosh beans. And that's really, I think, the last cold plant that we actually have to mutate. And I kind of want to leave some sleepweed in here at some point, so we'll probably just throw them in the fridge for later and then go right back to working with them again once we finished off the achievement. Can you make sure we're not cooking them? Okay, good. As long as we're not cooking sleepweed, we are fine. We're not growing anywhere near enough. But yeah, we'll have to naturally plant everything. We'll also have to reheat this room once we're done. Because we'll have to seal that back off. And then heat the room back up. I don't think heating it will actually be that big of a deal because we have so much energy and items around it. We should be perfectly fine there. Also, for some reason, Prototype just fell asleep on that ladder. Yeah. Weird, but alright. Oh. System, are you sending more uranium down there, or no? Looked like it tried. It was delayed too long. Yeah, I'll send that through now. Wish I could set up a double cycle timer. I knew. There we go. It needs to be 2%. Oh no. Ah, Sleeper, take from the ground. Stop being a moron and take from the ground. There you go. Yes, okay. I might still send too much at a time, but this is our weight control system, so should be okay. Probably need to keep an eye on it. But need to pick up all that excess copper. Animation wise, think they could reach that? The worst part is I need to connect all of this system on up. Hey, Frick. Your dupe is doing just fine. Are they? There we go. And machinery is actually completely maxed, and your athletics are maxed too. Production is at 12. Excavation is at 18. 12 on the skill, though. A very speedy dupe. And a very effective one. We have our radiation system back on up, and we have radioactive plants. Well, we will have radioactive plants, hopefully. I do need to find a spot for the... Keep looking at it, and I'm like, maybe the docks? I kind of don't want to, because this is perfectly measured already. Like, where to put it? Technically, I could put it up here. I almost want to make a lab for it, even though it doesn't really need it. But the dang thing is massive, so... I was like, maybe... Maybe. It's tempting. I still need to rejig this thing. Not that much of a rejig, though. Wouldn't fit there. Maybe I could scoot that over, I guess. No, that's still too big. Other option, obviously, is right down here. And again, it is massive. The other downside is my dupes will be in close proximity to the smart storage bin, and I'd rather them not be. Completely fine, it's just one of those like, maybe not. Big check. You know what? We'll take, yeah, screw it. We'll take this line. There. Because why not? I do need to check. Do we have any Nash beans left? Bean. I don't think I'd be able to tell even if it was there. There's too much food in this one singular tile. Yeah, I don't think it would be possible. There's a dash of salt right here. Yeah, toilet warning again. Have any naturally growing ones? I can't remember. Do or not? I think there was one somewhere, but can't remember if it was actually planted naturally or if it just popped out of a dirt pile. Probably expired by now. They're definitely a pain to grow, that's for sure. There is a lot of Paku fillets. Oh my god. Oh, I'm happy my automation's working great. That's a lot. 179,295 kilocalories of Paku fillets. Easily keep a couple things alive for a very, very long time here. How's the temperature still? Well, there's more green. Still way too cold. And we might need to get a nosh bean from a printing incident more so than anything else, unless we just dig one up by accident. I think that's really the only way we're gonna get one. Because I actually have to mutate one, and I'm like, oh god, no. No. Not again. Also, that is all liquid chlorine, so it's cold enough for it. Doesn't help the situation much. Yeah, I might actually need to dig one up, or just kind of inadvertently get one from a printer. It's too warm for it to grow and too cold for it to actually function. Oh no. Oh no, a hydrogen reactor. Link kaput. Why is there oxygen in there? How is there oxygen? What? 900. I don't know how that got in there. Nothing can go in this room unless... oh, the rover did it. I have no idea. Oh, that's super weird, but okay. Well, at least the Paku are functioning without needing any interaction whatsoever. One of the best food supplies in this entire game. Fine by me. We get a printer soon. Should be getting more research up with that as well. I don't think I have any nosh beans around. Sad. Pretty sure this place had none of that. The entire planet was hot. Hot, 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 hot. As noted, hot, 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 hot. And some places, insanely hot. It's like, ah, yes, the entire map is on fire. It makes sense. We have what? Yeah, no. I was like, is there a bean here? No. How's the temperatures in these? Really should send ceramic over just to replace this pipe. I don't want any temperature transfer out of it because it's really hot. It's for the hot tub. Makes sense. Ranching with a green thumb. Not what I expected. Sorry, bud. Building operating iron gut. Aesthetic design. Unempathetic. Building impairment while having aesthetic design and building. Why? Printing pod, why? Why are you like this? Why do you hate me? Why do you hate this dupe? Like, you hate me, Ma. This is very obvious. Operating rocketry, innately stylish. Gastrophobia, cannot do cooking, and decreased in machinery. All being an operator. Printing pod, why? That just hurts, man. Alright, get over here. Calling in some extra plants. Why not? Just, yeah. That hurts. That hurts to look at. How's the gas temperatures? Well, they're kind of working. The entire base is slowly losing heat because we're kicking it down to about 22 degrees, consuming or converting it into power. Not keep that out of there. I think we cleaned almost everything up, though. Nope, except we're out in space. We did not clean up yet. All of our locks are cleared. Random clay laying about. Picking that up. In the bathroom. Yeah, all working out pretty well. Oh, seed analysis completed. Exuberant. Life cycle minus 75%. Fertilizer usage 50%. Crop. Rots pile. Food poisoning crop. Can only work in darkness. Doesn't drop seed. Does give rot pile. Actually quite nice. So 4 kilograms of rot pile for processing and uses 50% more. Also consumes 250. If I remember right, Exuberant was actually quite good. Specifically for mealwood. Juicy. Self-harvest ungrown. Ah, yes, this was the other one. Fertilizer uses 25%. If you naturally plant them, the self-harvest ungrown doesn't really do much. It just makes it so it'll automatically drop its stuff, so you don't have to worry about it. Bit of a weird one. Don't even think I can grow it. 218. I'm trying to see which area has natural 200 or over 200. 180. Talon? Talon. However, you. You're the one who has the crust. 218. Iridol, pretty sure you have. Yeah, 375. I could technically grow it up in space. One of the few plants that can grow technically in space. I could build a small little area in here and make sure it's got the least amount of radiation resistant material. And you'd be good to go. I think diamond is the lowest. Yeah, actually. Diamond plate. One moment. How much radiation blocking are you? 64%. Okay, never mind. We would not use that one for sure. And restock that. Class, how much radiation blocking are you? You're 52%. It has to be done in darkness too, so... In theory, I could just build a little room right here and just fill it with CO2, I guess. Pretty sure that would be fine. I would need... Radiation is hitting this block 375. This is like one of the dumbest things you could do, but it works. wanted to grow more, actually. Probably should do it bigger than this. Nice strip of non-radioactive protection. Actually, no, I could probably just use solar panels. I'm thinking about it because they actually create a seal, so... And they allow almost everything through. Can I fit them? It's not gonna be here specifically for... Yeah. I guess I could just do this. Downside is that I still would need to do that. However, we can still get on top of this one. And also that one. This would create a completely vacuum sealed room. Where I could do mutant plants. Yeah. It also blocks all the light. Now this is all completely pitch black darkness. All the plants that require that. Don't need to worry about it. There's Bountiful. Ah, good. This is the one that I want on the Sleetweed, which would be yield amount 100%. Harvest duration is increased by 400%. It requires 200 light, 5% more fertilizer, and 250. But it gives 100% yield amount, which is nice. And easygoing was temperature range, which I don't care. The yield goes down. There's your dupe's characteristics. 1 second. Let's see, where is the Fray right now? My other dupe is the rocket right now, eating. Oop. Pull up your bio here. You're currently 1,610 cycles old. Small bladder. Twinkle toes, which means that you have +3 in your athletics. You're uncultured, which means you can't do decorating errands, but you gain a 20% bonus from decor. So whenever I hit this button, right here, whenever you're in the green, you actually get more bonus than everybody else. Because you're more appreciative of it, because you can't do it. When you get stress reaction, then you can get destructive, and you have super productive. When you're overjoyed, you randomly are able to do things at, I think it was 50% more efficient. Like you're 50% faster, and you're just able to run all machines way faster. When it comes down to skills, right now you have 0 in piloting, 12 in construction. That all tracks. Yeah, I know, right? Excavation, you are currently at 12 with 18 in overall. Machinery, you are completely maxed out. You are at 20 statted, so you have 20% machine operating speed, and if you had tune-up, you'd be 50% more efficient. Your athletics is completely capped. So you're 20 with exosuit training +6, twinkle toes +3, suit sustainability training +2, exosuit training, and when you're wearing an Atmos suit, you get -7. Or sorry, -6 specifically. So you pretty much, if you get a sparkle boost, you're running at 36%, so you're running around at 360% movement speed, which is, if I hit follow on you when that happens, your dupe just zooms. The frame rate dies. We are working on getting your science up. Right now you're only at 2. That's due to advanced research, just to get you the extra EXP gains. Strength is at 9, 5 in skill, 4 due to improved carrying. Agriculture, we're working on it. It's at 6 right now, 4 in your skills, and 2 for actually farming purposes. And dealing with critters is at 6 with 2. So you've been leveling up your critter stuff a lot more, just because I've been rounding out my specialty dupes. Spoon in general has roughly been doing about the same. they're a much better builder, just because that's all they can do. And then Protopoli over here is my rocketry pilot. He is at 15 skills, so he's got 5 more levels to go. He's at 17 total. Construction's 11, excavation 6. Machinery and athletics are capped. Science is at 11. Cuisine is at 13 because he's your general. Well, he's our standard cook. He goes with us whenever we need him. Mostly because he's a rocket pilot that can also cook. His creativity is at 3. And strength 7 with agriculture 2. And he hasn't touched a single critter in his life. At least not yet. Maybe in the future. Way after the point when we finish. YouTube's been doing very well. They're the ones excavating all of this area, and have pretty much been the ones helping clean up most of this stuff. Like that. I need to start draining this pool. We're gonna get them all set on up. Yep, O2 is still doing just fine. Let's see. How goes refilling the rockets? And we're at 38.7 tons of gold. All the gold, by the way, will be shot over here to Ikellen, and we're going to gold plate the hell out of this place, and also get a lot more machinery online. As right now, we're just kind of running on bare bones, basic systems. I mean, our entire wire patch is just... It's cobbled together because we don't have enough refined metals right now. So, I am currently packing up a rocket full of resources today, and seeing we've got the radioactive food chamber pretty much completed. Just gotta wait on all these guys to grow. It's gonna take them quite a while, actually. Probably like 4 episodes. That is if I don't get, if I don't have to shortchange an episode and do another short episode due to whatever reason. But that's all working out quite well. Nuclear reactor is now completely automated, and if anything goes wrong, the system will automatically kick off. I don't have to worry about that thing at all. It also has 2 safety switches. So I have the emergency no longer request and the emergency turn off the wait system. So both of which can be used and have been to the full effect, you never needing them so far. But they are definitely here as a just in case. So this bad boy is just going to run for the rest of eternity. Oh yeah, I also love how the animation for the genetic plant Kyo is just, yes, researching. Oh, I got a new one. And Gio's immediately right back to it. Good job, Gio. We have the leafy one, which is light required 1,000 light. Life cycle minus 50, so it's 50% faster. And the fertilizer usage is 25%. I still think the rot one was probably the best one we've gotten so far. Yeah, why do you have minor... How do you have minor wounds? What did you do? Get shot by something? Wait, no. I need to double check. You radioactive right now? You're a surface trip. Okay. Hit you. 64%. Oh, let me guess. I have a good idea. It was you guys. I quantum tunneling little bastards. Also, somehow they're cramped again. Ow. Literally, how are you cramped? Is currently... Oh, yes. This room. That would do it. One moment. It's like, wait, how the hell are you cramped? I cannot have my grabs cramping. It would be bad. Yep, they're all cramped right now. Oops. Actually, no. I'll build that door out of that. Build that out of gold. I don't need steel. I just need working stuff. Let's see. You know what? I could probably also delete these doors because I don't think they're needed anymore. No. No, they are not. Aaron, is this? Yeah, where are you? Ah, you're bringing it. Good. I'm just looking at how this thing is laid out, and I'm like, wait a minute. There's too many things down here. Cramp. Okay. You guys still cramped? We're still cramped. Shit. Let's see. Let's see. Probably just get rid of the door and scoot it over here. Give them more space, I guess. In reality, I really just need to connect them to space, and then we don't have to worry about it. I don't want to keep the door, but on the other hand, I'm just like, eh. I don't know what's causing the cramping, though. That's all linked up now. Maybe if I could technically just remove this door. I don't care who goes in here either. Alright, yeah, let's do that. Well, hold off on deconstructing this just yet and exposing them to space. From a room perspective, because space is 77,000 tiles, which means that nothing will ever get cramped ever again if you expose it up that far, which is why it's very useful to do so. And just have a liquid lock blocking the entrance. So, not a bad idea. But I think this should hopefully expand. Okay, so that is now linked there. Linked there. I need to poke a hole. There. I would explain the cramping, because I needed to definitely shield these guys off. Just a bit more. And... oh. Okay. They are now back to normal. Huzzah! It's like... I needed to isolate these guys from these guys. Yeah, that'll do. I also need to replace all of the old ladders. I keep forgetting I've still got a couple ladders around. And I haven't really touched. Nope, someone's got a toilet warning. But yeah, anything in the base that is a regular ladder needs to be replaced with plastic, so that way we get the extra speed. Pretty sure I've done most of them, if not all. I've only got a couple left here and there. Some of these ladders are literally just there so that way I can build around them. So they're just like footholds to help the dupes around, as you can see. I don't think we can get back up in there anytime soon. Okay, let me get all of this installed. There we go. Okay. And do I really need... Kind of? Not really. Okay, we'll get all that replaced with plastic. Down here I really can't switch it though because the temperatures are still going to be way too hot. I would love to put plastic in this room. Reduce the radiation output. That's not happening though, and I fully admit to that. Might actually be able to just delete this fallout, even though I would like to keep it as nuclear waste. I'm generating enough nuclear waste that I don't think I need to keep the nuclear fallout. It's such a nice resource too. Like, nuclear fallout in this game is fantastic. Problem, trying to cool it down to where it doesn't kill you. That is the hard part. That is the exceedingly hard part. I am concerned about the gas output in here, because this is hyper compressed. You know, you really need to get to a med bed. I don't know what hit you, but I'm assuming it was the crabs. They seem extra angry today. I should also mention this is like hyper compressed, so yeah, everyone who comes in this room is gonna get blown out of eardrums every time. Isn't great, but it's not the worst thing that could happen. It's just not good. Yep. And there's plenty of cooling. Material study still needs some more, I think. I wish I could fit this in here. I really do. I wish I could fit it right there. We didn't have a research at the time, and there's really no way to scoot this over. And I do have a water weed growing right there, so I'm like, it's the only one we have. It's gotta stay. Damn it. But yes, overall, everything's working out quite well. I'm worried about the food here, though. We do have backup food. That's not too big of a deal. And the Paku are completely autonomous now. Because the fillets will get picked up by the auto sleepers, and then that is dropped in here. And then I'm pretty sure the dupes just bring it over to here. Yeah, they do. And disable that though. So much stuff. Ugh. There's much work to be done. I think this will just be a, need to send some material over. Alan, how much igneous rock do we have? Actually, okay, we are currently at 1,283 tons of igneous rock material. Where's the pile? I know there's a pile somewhere. Where is it? There it is. The thousands of tons of material that I have to cool down from 1,200 degrees. I'm dying inside every time I look at it. It will get done. It needs to be kicked down to 124. Once it's kicked down to 124, then I'll have to manually cool it using supercoolant, and then after that, we can kick it down to like 20, about 25 degrees-ish. 24, 25. And then I can start shipping it places to build things, because I'm going to need probably 1/4 of that to build the space. And then Ikella needs it for insulation and a bunch of other stuff. It's just, this planet is too small. Even when compressing everything down and replacing everything with plastic, it's still not going to be enough. It's frustrating, but that is just how it is. I also need to rejig some piping here. You don't need as much insulated pipe as I was originally thinking we would probably need, because I can just supercoolant my way to all of my solutions. Mostly because supercoolant is overpowered as all hell, and it's great. It's like, what's the best fluid in this game? Supercoolant, liquid tungsten, and liquid niobium. Those are the three. I would say liquid steel, but it's not quite up to snuff with the rest of them. But either way, everything else has mostly been cleaned up. Oh. Okay, which base is currently not making enough oxygen? All I see is teal everywhere. Well, and this one doesn't even have dupes at it and it's still producing enough. Oh, you! That's why. Why is the pipe empty? How did you get swapped? I think I swapped you earlier, but should have been rectified. Oh well, there we go. This is why you always pay attention to your mornings, just in case. The O2 in here is actually quite low right now. What's going on with that? Is it leaking into space somewhere? No. No, anyone with suits can't go. Like, there's no consumption unless this thing down here. Then the one that's venting all my oxygen. And it technically should be, but it's only a limited amount. There we go. Let's turn that one off. Oh, I drained most of the system down here. It is possible that that one pump was the cause of all of this, but it's very unlikely. Any other pumps going right now? Nope. Nope. Yeah, it's possible. You can only send, what, 100 grams? I think at max it can send 500 per tile, if we can get them all in there. We'll just burn all of that off into steam. Yeah, that's my best guess. Very weird. I know that pumps can, if left alone over time, do this, but I didn't think it would take, well, that much. It's only been running for a little while. Could also be that our gas system is not sending enough gas in the first place. Oh, we've already pushed right back into teal again. I need to compress all the CO2 back down. And I do need to add one airflow tile. Because technically speaking, what I'm doing with this one... let's not put it near the CO2, so we don't have the CO2 blowing in. We can put it over here on this corner, and then that should allow the oxygen to pressure its way in once it's repressurized the entire thing. Yep, there it goes. 1,300 and above. Good. I do need to send my dupe back, but he's not even impacting our mini Rodriguez. This can handle 15 dupes. We've got 4. I was like, oh, what's going on? Something is very wrong here. Checks wipe. I'm like, oh no. All of my water. It wasn't being sent. I do need to recover all of these Baku though too. They need to be moved out. Want them up here in this tank. No, not all of them, but I need some of them in it. Most of them actually need to go over here, and then this needs to be expanded. Another pay, except they have gourmet, which I really don't want. Oh, another gourmet. Paku or muckroot. Where Paku we at? Oh, they're kind of all over the place. 2, 3, 3. There's like 2. Could get more. We have a lot down here, so I think they'll be okay here. We've also been growing a bunch of them in the vat. Very good. I think what we're gonna do... Oh no. Well, apparently we have a water situation over here too. What's going on with this one? Oh, the tank hasn't distributed. That would explain it. I was wondering what was going on with that. And what's the other issue? Any other issue that we're consuming too much of what we're making? No. I think we're just not... Our dupes aren't going to the bathroom fast enough. That's the problem. I need you guys to poop more. Damn it. Oh, either way. I'm gonna call them in here because I could use more Paku, actually. More Paku equals more food, and more food equals happier dupes. I need to go that away. How big is this room right now? 2,000 tiles. Paku, go to the right. You can do it. Live, damn it. We got 1 shipment of gold. Hooray! Tiny amount of cabling. There we go. That's how much gold we got. Every rocket, like every shot. The good news is I can set it up to fire out of the other cannon, and then that'll be infinitely better. I do need to send Gene back though soon. I know. You've got stuff left in that. There we go. Being left in the airlock. That's never good. I feel like we're losing gas somewhere, and I'm like, where? Where and to what? Is the question. The oxidizers did their work and pretty much eradicated all the slime lung except for little bits here and there. I'm like, that wasn't it. All the natural gas is mostly accumulated over there. Not really seeing anything else that's causing a problem. Yeah, what the heck? This is all completely independent, so that's not pulling any gases from outside. Here's the problem. Minor confusion. Pressure's still going up. I have no idea. I assume it's just the one out all the way down here. That was probably the only problem. Will also take a little while to heat back up. Once it does though, it'll be back to normal. I need to flood this system with oxygen. Yeah. So much CO2 buildup, I need to open that door. Because all of that is oxygen, and I want CO2 to go that away. Okay, we're at almost 60 tons of gold. I think we can make the trip back now. In all honesty, I think it's time that we drop all the gold back into it to the best of our abilities and then get back to base. It's been 20 cycles pretty much of delivering gold to this rocket. It's a very slow process. There's Gene. Okay. Gene, unequip your suit. Go to the rocket. Waiting for him to get into the door. There we go. Send him that. Rocket platform 833. 833. Okay. It's all safe and ready to go. Dupes, please deliver the other suit back. Food is 79%. Yeah, he's good to go. Okay, buddy. Punch it. Okay, that's just barely outside of the range. Yep, there goes up in temperature. 200. Oh, shit. Oh. At least didn't hit 600. But, yeah, that's rough. Specialized. Variable temperatures, yield amount 50%. That's actually not a bad one. If you've got perfectly temperature controlled bases, that's perfectly reasonable to run. Speaking of perfectly controlled temperatures. That is quite neat. I probably need to send more mutant plants over so we could research them. I really do need to get my dupe science up, so I'm literally going to allow every single dupe to run through and use that machine. It's just the way to do it. Because they can get the same plant over and over, and they'll still gain EXP in research. Which is massive. It is the way of the researcher. Oh, they're slowly getting through all the plastic. Very good. Good job, dupes. Seeing everything pretty much replaced with plastic. Very good. Okay, there's a cooling again. Yeah, let's go to 108. Whew. Not terrible, just toasty. Nope. Aku, what are you doing? Get down here. A lot of Paku are about to bite the bullet. Actually, quite a bit of it. I'm okay with that. Come on, Paku, you can make it. One more over. Come on. Oh, maybe I have to come down here and do this. Damn it, man. There you go. Okay, good. All the Paku have been safely received. Also kind of find it funny, we had regular oxygen here, and these guys all ate it. That's funny. I know. I really don't want one of those running around in the base. I kind of think we need one just for the dense buffs, maybe. Yeah. Damn it. I gotta leave one running around. Forgot about that. I'll just let that one hatch, it's fine. Okay, Jane, you are bringing back a stupid amount of weight. Which is very nice. Good work. Let's see. How's Dripola handling? Oxygen is back to 2000. Okay, we are good. I do need to sort this problem out. And I need to flood the system with O2 again, so that way we can press down any gases that become a problem. Really about it. I should really switch that out for an AND gate. Now we've got the whole system running. I don't need the manual override, I just need the system to run. I was about to say, Paku, how the hell did you crawl your way over and then down? I assume? I don't know what you did. Mild concern. Good news is we have plenty of Paku. I really should put a bunch of gulp fries in here to clean this out as well. One thing that needs to be done. Okay. All that's sorted out. Food is actually up. Thank you, Paku. Very good job of that. I believe every time we make one of these, we go from 3,000... Yeah, 1,000 to 1,600 kilocalories when cooked. So it goes up in value. Which is always good. Dean's almost back to base with a ton of resources. This is going to be set for... Sorry, this one. Gold. Once we fill that entire container with all the excess materials from the rocket, and we will use the sweep command. Sweep only. Find metals. Oh. The target is locked in. Okay. I should be all completely safe right now. Hopefully. We're gonna stick one right there. 270, and that's 375. And the bigger issue is regular drywall. Well, let's make it green. Why not? Yep, that'll work. We'll just use this as our radiation plant zone. Probably just fill the whole thing with CO2 and then not have to care, and it should be fine. And it is the radioactive planet, so you can 100% just stick a basic crappy farm directly underneath, underneath your solar panel setup, because the radiation can, no, you have 0% blocking, so works perfectly fine as long as you are able to oxygenate or just gas this room. Bigger issue. I'm almost thinking we just need to do dirt. Kind of like the idea of hydroponics, but I don't really know if we need it. Pretty sure mealwood specifically does not require that much water when... Yeah. Just needs dirt. There we go. Yeah, we'll just get a basic little farm set up over here and no problem. It. Nope, everything is at 9. Very good. There we go. Actually, how much water do we even have left in here? Plenty for now. Already almost back. Mission control boost 20%. Good. Don't really need to worry about him. But yeah, we'll pack in all the gold on the next episode, so hopefully tomorrow nothing pops up. Which for YouTube guys, that would technically today, which would be Saturday. As they noted, all these episodes get uploaded the week after these are recorded, so they'll be uploaded on Sunday, and then they'll be scheduled Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if we get 111 done on Saturday. So, just wanted to reiterate that. Currently the sun is actually going to come up, and I should probably end it here, I think. 1883. I'll take it. And we got the radioactive plant room done. That's pretty impressive, and I'm very happy with it. I did have a complete just brain fart moment with the tips, though. I was like, wait, no, it's 1x1 or 3x3. I was like, no. God damn it. Either way, I am happy with the results. Also, the fact that the nuclear reactor now has another failsafe where if it gets too much actual weight, it just disables itself. Well, the weight system, delivery weight system disables itself. Which, to me, that is a huge, massive plus. Okay, confirm the save. 1883. I am pretty content with that as a whole. I will take that as an absolute win. But yes, tomorrow, hopefully, I will be able to do episode 111. So 111. And, yeah, that should be going up on Wednesday. This will go up on Tuesday. So if anyone's seeing this, hello from the past. But yeah, I'm pretty content with the overall progress. Definitely need to work more on Kellen. Now that the radioactive plants are starting to go, we can actually start doing GMO. After that, we really need to ramp up nuclear production, and then I need to start shipping it to other planets so that way we can start making more nuclear waste, which means I need to ship over a lot more gold amalgam and also igneous rock. So probably Palin will be the next primary focus to just take all the resources, because that is a metric crapload of lava. We need to convert it all down into igneous rock. We're gonna need it. I have to build an entire planet-sized base hanging over the water world. It's gonna be needed. But I think that's everything for today's current episode. I'm pretty happy with it.